him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Smack 'em a gob, it's time for the only news that matters. And former Queensryche vocalist Geoff Tate recalled witnessing David Coverdale having a meltdown over the size of meat on sandwiches backstage, linking the scene to an episode out of This Is Spinal Tap. The 1984 cult classic presents itself as a mockumentary which lampoons and celebrates life in rock and roll and has earned a multi-generational following. At the same time, there have been so many instances where real-life musicians coming out with anecdotes closely resembling those from Spinal Tap that the movie reads less than like a parody with each new story that gets uncovered. Geoff's Spinal Tap moment had nothing to do with his former band. Rather, it was the legendary Whitesnake bandleader, which lampoons and celebrates life in rock and roll and has earned a multi-generational following. At the same time, there have been so many instances where real-life musicians coming out with anecdotes closely resembling those from Spinal Tap that the movie reads less than like a parody with each new story that gets uncovered. Geoff's Spinal Tap moment had nothing to do with his former band. Rather, it was the legendary Whitesnake bandleader who was doing the spinal tapping. The subject arose during a recent interview with Finland's Tuuma Nuti after Tate was asked whether any of his experiences resemble the scene from the cult flick. He said, "Well, my Spinal Tap moment would be the scene in the movie where I can't remember the character's name, but the guy complaining about backstage in the dressing room about the sandwich meat. I saw the reality of that, the real one. Before the movie came out, I was on tour with Whitesnake and David Coverdale was having a meltdown in his dressing room regarding the same issue with the catering. And the meat didn't fit the sandwich, and I swear, somebody heard that and they wrote that into the Spinal Tap movie years later because it was the same exact scene." Although Tate recalls being surprised by Coverdale's reaction, he added that he eventually saw a logic behind it. After all, nobody likes being served meat that's not the right size. At the time, I remember I was very young and I remember thinking, why is David Coverdale upset about this? But the older I get, that he wanted it done. He wanted his dressing room set up the way he wanted it to be set up. It makes it better and easier for him. And that's why he has it there. And so it wasn't done right, so he was letting his guy know that he wasn't going to take it anymore. There you go. Slow news week, I know. But Spinal Tap rules. You know, what can I say? That movie is amazing. But I'll tell you, man, the very young me that saw that movie, I gotta say, man, that I didn't like it. Because I remember seeing on MTV the video for Hellhole. And I liked it. I was like, hey, I thought it was a real band. So I go to the theater with my friends. It was a midnight movie, I remember. And, man, I'm sitting through it going, what the fuck is this? You know? I know it was supposed to be a comedy and all, but I wasn't laughing. Now, maybe the funniest comedy ever with the Blues Brothers, I would say. Spinal Tap is just genius. With a trillion quotes you can get out of that movie. I mean, it's one scene after the other. It's just great. And I became a Spinal Tap fan later when I finally woke up and realized, all right, it's a mockumentary and I'm old enough to know this. And I became a fan. I bought the soundtrack. I got Break Like the Wind when it came out. And then they were coming here on that tour. I bought tickets and it was canceled. Maybe bad ticket sales. I'm not sure. It's not a big college town down here. But then, you know, I did finally get my chance to see Spinal Tap. And it was a huge, huge disappointment. It was at the Fillmore. Jackie Gleason Theater, and it was called like Unwigged, Unplugged, or something like that tour, where you know they were dressed like like they are, and they played acoustically, and it was terrible. And they had an opening band that was them playing acoustically, some kind of folk crap. It was just horrible. And then there was nobody there. This place seats maybe 1,500 maybe more. But I say roughly, there was like, I'm being modest, maybe 100 people there. And I remember at one part of the show, the whole place, the lights came on in the middle of the show, like while he was talking in between songs. All the lights came on at the Fillmore, and David St. Hoven, Lenny and Squiggy, Michael McKeon, he said, "Oh God, turn the lights out. This is embarrassing." He even knew. It was bad, man. It was really bad. And another little Spinal Tap moment for me was meeting them. And other than one of the Spinal Tap members, it wasn't a good moment. It was the Fillmore. The back of it has a fence, where the tour buses are behind the fence. So everybody after the show at the Fillmore goes to the back at the fence to wait for the band. So the band will come out, they're behind a fence, but oh no, they can come out of the fence. That's right, because I met Jack Black back there. But anyway, out comes David St. Hovens, right? What a prick. That guy was a prick. There was a dude there that had a Laverne and Shirley game, like one of those board games, and he wanted to sign it. And even the way he said it was snotty. He's like, "I am not signing that." Like a dick. And then my favorite member, Nigel comes out and literally ignores us all while we're yelling at him, Christopher, Nigel, He didn't pay attention to us and walked right into the tour bus. Prick. Then, the most successful out of the three, Harry Shearer, the bass player, that guy does like Simpson voices, and he gets way more work. Let's put it that way. Harry Shearer, that guy couldn't have been nicer. He was fucking awesome, man. He was amazing, and it's like, wow, I guess he has more reason to be happy, even though I don't know how the other two are doing. I know Nigel's married to Jamie Lee Curtis, and she ain't doing bad, so maybe she's his sugar mama. Anyway, and there's a Spinal Tap movie coming out, a sequel I am extremely excited about. I hate to be like thinking of how it's going to be. I want to see it and then make my judgment. But there's also a part of my brain that says, there's no way they're going to top the original. There's just no way. But hey, wouldn't it be cool if it at least was as good as the original? Oh, I know I'm very excited about this. And there you go. Geoff Tate tells the story how David Coverdale got pissed off at Backstage because of the catering, the meat. And it was the same exact scene in the movie. Is the timeline right on that? Because I'm thinking, wasn't the movie done like years prior to them touring with Whitesnake? I don't know. I could be wrong. But either way, it's funny, man. And now Geoff Tate understands because, when you're a rock star that long, the self-importance creeps in, man. He was young. He didn't get it at the time. But now that he's been in the business for 40 plus years, it's making sense to him. But anyway, what do you all think of this? Hey, what do you all think of Spinal Tap? And what do you think of the sequel? Are you excited for it? I know some of you probably already made up your mind. I can't be as good. And hey, all right, we'll see. But thank you so much for watching. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and ring that little notification bell. Oh, and very important, like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Queensryche, Rage for Order, and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.